we drove a little bit and it went down to 18%. By the bottom of the pass, it was back up to 21%.
Oh,
All about energy conservation.
When I was on cruise control, we actually hit a point where the range versus the distance. Yeah. We were at a 20 kilometer depth.
Really?
So I took it off cruise control and I started adjusting it.
Yeah.
And then I got up to 28 kilometers plus.
We're the reverse. When we drive, we consume more. When we put it on cruise control, we get better. Yesterday, that same stretch, we increased range when we went from controlling the pedal to cruise control. So instead of decreasing range while we were driving, our range was increasing.
Yeah.
So it's split. Currently, 2 cars finding better consumption on cruise control and 2 cars finding better consumption not on cruise control.
I was actually trying to do it. I was thinking about it, but I didn't do it. As you're going down a decline, like especially this one that we just did, of 90s documentary. So I took the seal off cruise control and I controlled the speed manually. I lowered the speed to about 80 going down. So you can go down 120, but I went to 80 and I could see I was getting more regen and I was maintaining the battery consumption and the kilometers as well. And all the way. Inclines.
I don't know if it's the vehicle or it's just a driving style. I don't know if I'm heavy on I've got a heavy foot, I don't know.
It actually does have altitude information within it, the data set.
Yeah.
So it'll intentionally lower power if it's going on an incline versus a decline. So it does have those adjustments. But if you do it manually, you can do that. Well, that's the thing. So maybe a combination thereof. Yeah.
I felt there was a bit of when I had it on cruise control going downhill. There's a bit of acceleration. So the car's trying to maintain the speed. Yeah. So even though it is slowing down and braking, it's still accelerating as well. So the regen is a bit it's quite lower than taking it off and.
So that's when you want to adjust your regen manually. Because the problem is, even if you're going downhill, right? If your regen is put on pretty strong, you're going to end up decelerating. Yeah. So what I would do is, as I'm going downhill, I would, in my EQ, I would intentionally, get rid of the regen. Yeah, so that it'll actually coast all the way down.
So that's a good point. We're actually not driving with regen on because it actively decelerates. So
that's exactly it.
We'd almost slow down on the highway.
So going down, you almost want to get the momentum to keep on going.
So we're on the drive mode, but there's some degree of regen in drive mode on the down. So I'm not. That's what I'm talking. I'm not talking about full regen because full regen doesn't work on the highway with this car. It's better for city driving.
So from a software perspective, some of them do adaptive regen, and the iX does that. Yeah. So from that perspective, if you start going down, it'll completely coast and kill the regen. That's
what this is doing. That's what I'm talking.
I think there's an element of that.
It's not full on regen. The full on regen, is your experience. It breaks, like it goes down to it almost wants to stop.
Yeah. And you think about it, it's a dual motor. If you start regenerating on both of them,
there's no movement. There's absolutely no movement.
That's exactly it.
Oh, you've got a dual motor?
It's a dual motor.
You could feel it on the track yesterday. Holy moly.
Yeah, you could hear it on the track.
Greg, we were just discussing regen and range. What's your experience on, do you get better mileage when you, not only regen, just on cruise control or when you manually?
So highway driving, I always disable the regen, and I try to keep it on coasting, because otherwise you kind of find that you're fighting against the regen just to maintain the speed.
Cruise control, or you
always use cruise control.
Yeah, same.
Always use cruise control, and this Volvo just manages the range very much on that basis.
So then that's our experience and Kival's experience.
Okay.
With cruise control.
What I did do though, coming out of New Bethesda, is I did put the regen on. So I just let the car regather all that energy coming down that pass yesterday, and that made a big difference. So.
Yeah, and we also were just saying the regen is too strong with this vehicle. We turn it off on the highway. Okay. Absolutely, we don't use it. But there's some degree of regen, active regen kind of when you on cruise control.
Yes.
Where it pulls on the downhills.
Yes.
I guess
So we increased range. Yesterday at one stretch we increased range on a stretch for 15 k's.
When we left New Bethesda yesterday, the battery was on 23%. we drove a little bit and it went down to 18%. By the bottom of the pass, it was back up to 21%.
Oh, that's good.
So
Impressive.
all about energy conservation.